guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be going over the Cedar Point Winter Chill Out announcements. And I say announcements because there was no big announcements this year. This is basically a video about how Winter Chill Out went this year, and according to like all over the internet, it was absolutely terrible this year. So needless to say, we're kind of glad we didn't get tickets this year because it was just a hot mess.
Sounds like it was a disaster.
So obviously the first big difference was that there was not a Q&A, so therefore there was no big announcements. They did announce a couple things before Winter Chill Out, and I was thinking, why didn't they just save it? It was like a week or two before, and I'm like, why didn't they just save it for that? But they didn't bother.
So on to the rides. They did Top Thrill 2, photo op in the train.
Yep, and the new trains.
Yeah.
So like the cars that drive on the track, basically.
But it was still under construction, obviously, so they can only do so much. And I don't think that they got to like go touch the track.
They didn't, because I saw video and photo footage of them being like it almost looked like they were in the queue almost, but like on the opposite side. So like you're looking at it from the park, but like that distance back. So they didn't get to go up and touch the track, but they did get to sit in the ride vehicles, kind of like we did for Wild Mouse. Yeah. So it was kind of similar to that in a way.
And you said the Millennium Force tunnels, right?
Yeah, they did.
They did those again.
Again, which they just did that last year. Like, I understand, like, they're obviously going to have to start repeating stuff.
But not like year after year.
It's weird to me that they turned around the next year
and did Millennium Force. So it seems.
Like, there's so many other rides that come low enough that you could go touch them.
Like Gatekeeper, but make sure that I get to go Cedar Point, because that's my ride.
I mean, for people who went last year and people who went this year as well, like, that's kind of like a letdown, I feel like, for them, because they went 2 years in a row and got, like, almost the same experience, minus a few things. So the next thing was lunch. Now, I couldn't figure out, based on things on the internet, if it was at the Grand Pavilion or Melt. I believe the lunch was at the Grand Pavilion, and then there was restrooms open at Melt. Yeah. So it's kind of like another one of the same things, because we did the Grand Pavilion when we went.
Right. When we went, it was before they had the Grand Pavilion built. And they did it, like, inside that one area where it was, like, tables.
Oh, yeah.
And it was, like, buffet
style.
It
was, like, food that was gonna be at the Grand Pavilion.
It went well.
Yeah.
And it seems like this time, setting it up there was, like, slow, not enough food, not enough service. I don't know. I wasn't there, but that's what it seems. There wasn't a lot of bathrooms open, which when we had gone before, there was, like, 2, 3 different places to go. There might have even been porta potties, honestly. Yeah. They only had like one location open, or really long lines. And like somebody said it'd be quicker for them to like leave the park, go to the bathroom, and come back, like down at McDonald's or Dairy Queen or something.
Which, that's kind of sad.
Yeah. Like you can't leave and come back in, so.
Right. And they know how many people that they have coming to the event.
Yeah, you know how many people are coming, so you know how many restrooms you need to have available if
like,
they all have to go.
I understand, like, they don't want to have to like clean like every single bathroom, which that makes sense. But like, Winter Chill Out is mostly at the front of the park. The majority of it's at the front. So just open like the majority of the bathrooms up at the front. And sorry, you have to clean a little bit more, but like people won't wait an hour.
Yeah, I also don't know if they've done this before, but they could stagger lunches. Because before they've done the guided tour, which we're going to talk about that, but they've done it to where I think we all ate lunch at the same time, and then they would like do different events at different places. But they did have it staggered, because you'd be at the gown shop or the costuming while someone else was on one of the rides, and then then you'd be there and you'd switch, and then you'd go to lunch and then the bathroom. If you stagger it, you're not going to have 200 people in the bathroom at the same time.
And you know why it wasn't that way this year?
Because it wasn't organized.
There was no itinerary this year at all. So that means that they did not plan like each group's day. So that, like Faith was saying, like somebody's at the laundry thing, and then somebody's at lunch, and somebody's at the Q&A. They didn't set it up that way this year, and it was a complete mess because of that.
Well, and that's what'll do it. You have to have a like scheduled itinerary, so groups are in different places at different times.
Yeah, there was also some reports of some groups not getting to go to every stop because they had to wait at the stop
Or wait in the
wait for another group to come out, or wait an hour and a half at a bathroom.
Wear a diaper next time.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on. Like, that's, like, basic human needs.
And then on to keychains.
Yeah, so there was some comments made about some sort of keychains that were handed out at Winter Chill Out this year. And they're going to be worth it to have those later in the season. Oh. They didn't release any information to the people even who were there on what these are. So they have to hold on to these keychains to figure out what they are.
Pray that you don't lose them. I'm
kind of thinking maybe it might be like a fast lane for Top Thrill or something because they opened it this year. That's my guess.
I would think so too.
I can't figure out anything else. Maybe like a free ticket to bring somebody with you or something. But like other than that, like I can't think of anything else that keychain could mean in the future.
Yeah. I can't either.
But I'm very interested to see, and they said to watch the social medias of Cedar Point to figure out what that's going to be.
At least these people got something, though, out of this disaster.
Yeah, like, I hope that keychain makes it worth their while to have gone. So. Now, like, I'm not saying that it wasn't worth it for them at all. I'm sure for some people that it was their first time, it was great and lovely and everything. But for people who are coming back, like, people were probably, like, so disappointed that they won't even go back.
Yeah, like, when you're used to something a certain way and it's gone well, and then you go to it and it's completely, like, different, nothing's as organized as it has been, it's frustrating.
Yeah, the disorganization this year just, like, blew my mind. Like, I would be so frustrated if we would have gone.
Yeah, because it's a lot of money, and I know it goes to charity, but you're spending like a lot of your money to like get something good out of it as well.
Right. So one of the stops this year that most people got to see was they stopped at the barnyard and they had the animals out, which I don't think that they had them out when we went.
No, I don't think so, because it was too cold, and I don't understand that either. Like, are we?
And it was colder this year than it was the year that we went.
Are these animals okay?
Yeah, I mean, they only probably brought out the ones that could deal with being out for a little bit.
Or they went into the barn or something. I don't know. They haven't done that before, so that is cool.
Yeah, and I think they let people, like, feed them and stuff like that, too.
And then the sky ride buckets, they got new paint.
Yep. The ones that, like, kind of go through the park like that, like, from the front to the middle-ish of the park. Those buckets got a brand new paint job, and they look good.
I can only imagine the work that is to like pull those off the machine.
Oh my gosh. There has to be hundreds of buckets.
Yeah. How heavy they are. Like you have to forklift them and operate them with machinery. So that's just insane. But anyway, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. This was another big disappointment. I would have been so mad if I would have seen this merch when I walked in to the store. Too. I was like, that's a snowflake with like Cedar Point's
and the snowflake, to be honest with you, wasn't even that good of a graphic design.
No. They have had such great merchandise for this, like in previous years. This looked thrown together last minute, just like everything else in this tour this year.
Yeah.
It looked awful. One of the things that they did get to see before everybody else, which I'll put like a little pan through the different ones, but they got to see the 2024 button collection before everybody else. So, I mean, that's cool. I mean, if you're collecting them, we like halfway collect them. Like, we just pick ones that we like each year, but we don't like collect every single one. But, I mean, I feel like they were just trying to give them anything that they could.
Yeah, just something to do to fill time.
Yeah, and they just gave them the buttons. So another thing with the merch that was actually good was the Top Thrill merch. It actually looks good. It looks very like race car-esque, you know, like a NASCAR type vibe. It kind of looks like that. I mean, I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I like the jacket that you'll see because it looks like a race car driver.
Yeah.
And like the bears and stuff.
Yeah, they got like some stuffed animals and stuff. They got some cute stuff and some like hardcore stuff.
Yeah, that I do like, and that's all that they did.
Yep. So they basically showed up at the crack of dawn, got to the park, towards some things, which, again, I will say, if it's your first time, I'm sure that they had a blast. I mean, it's not like it's like it's just a disappointment compared to last year and the year before. But, I mean, I just would have been really upset if we would have got tickets this year, honestly, and I hope that they fix things for next year.
Prices went up, and this happens.
Yeah, and then you don't get a Q&A, and you don't get any new announcements. The new roller coaster you don't even get to go up to. You just get to sit in the car, which that is cool. That's we did that for Wild Mouse, and I mean, we liked that. If you went last year, you get the same Millennium Force tunnels.
Yeah, if it was your first time, that would be cool.
Right.
But returners want something different, and there are a lot of people that return every year.
Right.
And they want, like, a new thing every year or close to it. And, like, with all the rides they have, they could definitely do, like, 2 new rides for a while.
Side note, something that they did not announce at Winter Chill Out, but they could have, here's another thing, was recently we just found out that Snake River Expedition is going to be going away.
Oh, yeah. And again, it's another thing that's, like, they always say, like, if you don't go there, then we're not going to keep it open, or we're not going to have the restaurant open or the ride open if no one goes to it.
Yep.
But you got to have the ride opened in order for people to go to it.
I feel like it was barely open last year.
Season.
Yep.
And we liked it. Now, I wouldn't ride it, like, all day long, but it was fun to do when you needed, like, a change up and, like, the boating.
Or just, like, a chill ride. Like, it was just, like, a boat ride, literally.
And they did, like, a little skit on it. I think, honestly, they're probably a mix of short-staffed, a mix of nobody going because they didn't have it open.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have the people to do the skit all day long every day. But still, I mean, they should maybe do, like, something where they put it out online and post and vote how many people would go to this if we kept it open, but actually opened it, and how many wouldn't, and all that.
One more thing, completely unrelated to Winter Chill Out, but it is related to Cedar Point. We took advantage of this deal, but they do have where you can get up to 30% off of Hotel Breakers instead of your usual 10% if you're a pass holder if you use the code TRIPLE on your booking. And it's like certain dates, so you'd have to go to the website to figure out like if the dates that you want to go are covered, and you might be able to stay for longer for cheaper. We had originally rented a room for Hotel Breakers for one night, and it was about $50 to $60 more to add one more night.
Yeah.
Total. So we just decided to go ahead and extend it based on that deal, and Cedar Point was great about changing that for us. So that is one thing that they do well, is like if you have a reservation, you need to change it, or you need to move it around or add a day, take away a day. They're very good about that.
I mean, I'm interested to see how things operate opening weekend as that approaches.
And we'll be there. We'll be there opening weekend. So we're excited for that.
But that's all our Winter Chill Out announcements for 2024. Thanks for watching today's video.
See you guys next time. Bye.